Hey guys, I'm Brittany and I've been crying for the past 15 minutes because Read with Cindy just posted a video of her crying about Crooked Kingdom and now I'm refeeling all of my feels. So if I look like shit, sorry about it. I've been, sobbing and now I want to emotionally traumatize myself and read the series again. So today I have a book tag. It's called The Last Book Tab. I saw Hardback Hoarder do it a couple weeks ago, and I will leave the original poster down below. And yeah, let's just jump in. So the first question is, what is the last book that you didn't finish? And for that, my last book that I didn't finish was Where the Wind Blows by Caroline Fife. I got Kindle Unlimited or something for, I don't know, 99 cents for 3 months. So I was reading it on there on my phone at night. I got like literally 40% of the way through it. It's like some pioneer romance. I hated it and there was literally no romance to speak of. The love interest man was just shitty. When he compared a woman to a horse, I was out. I don't like my women compared to horses, so that was that. I DNF'd it. Fare thee well. The second question is, what is the last book you reread? And for anyone who knows me, hi, I love Harry Potter, so the last book I reread was The Prisoner of Azkaban. I usually do a yearly reread of this, but this year I'm like super slacking because Goblet of Fire is so big and I need to reread it, but I feel like it's going to take me forever when in reality it'll probably take me like 2 days. But yeah, so I reread this. I loved it as usual, 5 stars. I will always be rereading Harry Potter forever. The third question is, what is the last book you bought? And I honestly don't know what it was. I buy a lot of books at thrift stores and they kind of just end up on my shelves in disarray. So I don't know what the last book I bought from like Goodwill or Salvation Army was, but the last book I bought full price on Amazon was The Shining by Stephen King. I really need to read it this month. I've been trying to do a Stephen King book a month in publication order, and I read Rage last month, which was actually published after this, but it was shorter, and this one is like almost 700 pages. So also it's a mass market paperback, which I fucking hate. So yeah, I really need to read it. I think I'll probably like it. I haven't even seen the movie. I think maybe I watched it once and all I remember is like some creepy ass twins in a hotel fucking hallway and red rum. I don't know. So yeah, that's the last book I bought and I hope to read it ASAP. Number 4 is, what is the last book that you didn't read but said you did? I don't really tell people that I read books if I haven't. That just seems like a really unnecessary lie. The only thing I could think of for this is Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice, and I'm not even positive that I didn't read this because I've been saying for years that I have read this, and I just started reading it again forever ago. It's taken me a fucking lifetime to get through, but as I'm rereading it, I'm like, did I ever actually read this? Like, I don't remember a lot of these parts, but I swear to God, I read it as a teenager when I was like maybe 14. So maybe, I don't know, I'm just confused. So yeah, I don't know if I actually read this or not, or I just literally convinced myself that I did. Number 5 is, what is the last book that you wrote in the margins of? I don't do this to my books. I think that is not good for my books anyway. I like to keep my books nice. I will highlight them occasionally if I don't actually like give a shit about the book and I like bought it for, I don't know, a fucking $1. But if I've like purchased a book full price, I'm not highlighting it or writing in it. So the only thing I could think of for this was I wrote in the margins of The Bridge to Terabithia. last semester of college. I took a children's lit class and I had to analyze a children's literature book, so I did pick Bridge to Terabithia for that, and I wrote in it, and the only reason that I wrote in that is because I had 2 copies of it, so I thought I could get away with writing in one and then keeping the other nice and put together for either my children or myself to read in the future. So yeah, I don't really do that. I am very weird about keeping my stuff like clean and not fucked up. I even have trouble coloring in adult coloring books because I feel like I'm just gonna mess them up. So yeah, I'm very weird. Number 6 is, what is the last book that you had signed? And surprise, I've never been to like a author signing or none of that shit. I live in literally the middle of fucking nowhere. We don't do that stuff here. The closest thing that I could probably get to for an author signing would be like Chicago. So I'm not gonna go there just to, I don't know, like stare at somebody speak in person for, I don't know, fucking 20 minutes. So I've been cussing a lot in this video. I guess I'm in a mood. Anyways, the only thing I could think of as far as signed books go is my Owlcrate books, because they are signed. So the last Owlcrate book I got was My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I read my Lady Jane a couple months ago. Was it last month? 2 months ago. Loved it. So I'm really excited to get to this one. And yeah, here are all the signatures. Very cool. I don't actually care that much, but it's cool with me, I guess. Whatever. Question number 7 is, what is the last book you lost? So I don't lose books like I used to. I moved around a lot as a kid, and I would just lose books left and right. But I've been living in the same house now for many years. As soon as my daughter was born, we moved here, so we have been here a very long time. So it's not like I'm just losing my books willy-nilly. They're always, you know, in the house somewhere. So the only answer I could think of for this is I do occasionally lend a book, and everybody I lend a book to never returns it. Like, not even one time can I think of somebody who has actually returned my books. Nobody does. I've lent them to my mother-in-law, my own mother, my stepmom, usually just family members, and they still don't return my books. So I think the last book I lent out was Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, and I gave that one to my stepmom. She never gave it back. She never read it. So I just bought a new copy. I think it was $0.25 at Salvation Army. So 25 cents is fine with me. I could probably ask her for it back, but I'm kind of pissed about it. So yeah, that's the only book that I can think of that I lost. But yeah, when you live somewhere so long, you don't end up losing stuff as much as you would as like a kid if you're moving around a lot. So I'm very grateful that I have all my lovely books still. Question number 8 is, what is the last book you had to replace? And unfortunately, that is The Neverending Story. I think I have 2 copies of this now. It is my favorite book. Not ever, but it's on my top 10, probably right underneath Harry Potter, which is number 1. So I mean, obviously it's my favorite book. Have you seen my channel name? Hi, I'm the Neverending.Reader. I love this fucking book. So I had a copy of this forever that I loved, and I reread it like a million times, and somebody like threw it. I don't know if it was like my kids or what, but it like just totally fell apart. So I had to go ahead and buy a new copy. And then I found this extra copy at, I don't even know where, but I loved it. I love the artwork. It's just a fantastic book. I highly recommend this to literally anybody who likes fantasy or middle grade fantasy or just anyone at all. This is the best. So yes, I did have to replace this quite some time ago now. I don't really ruin my books often, and if I do ruin them, it's because I threw them in the trash because they were garbage anyway. So question number 9 is, what is the last book you had an argument over? I don't get in arguments over books, probably because I don't know anybody who reads aside from my friend Aubrey. Hi Aubrey, if you're watching this. But we always like have similar experiences with reading. We don't fight anyway. I don't fight with my friends. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get in arguments over books. Maybe I have argued with my husband over Harry Potter before, because he likes to call Dumbledore false names, like fucking Gandalf or something, and it pisses me off, but it's like all in, you know, good humor. So yeah, I don't get in arguments over books. I don't really get in arguments anyway, because I don't surround myself with shitty people. And the last question is, what is the last book you couldn't get a hold of? For this, I'm just going to have to go with The Kiss Quotient. I don't even remember who this is by, but Sophie from Sophie Reads really wanted me to read it, and so I looked at the synopsis and I was like, yes, bitch, this is gonna be great. So I literally cannot afford anything in my life right now, so I requested it from the library, and I'm like the millionth person in line to get it. So that is the last book I couldn't get a hold of. And I hope it comes soon, because I actually do really want to read it pretty badly. And also, my library book collection is like stacking up pretty badly. I keep checking shit out that I have no business checking out, because I have a TBR pile the size of a mountain. 90% of the books in here I haven't even read, because I donate books when I read them. So if I don't absolutely love a book, I will donate it. And if it's like a 1 star that pissed me off, I have been known to literally throw it in the garbage. So, and that's only happened like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, and that is the end of this book tag. I'm not gonna tag anybody because I don't have any friends and I'm a fucking loser. So I will catch you all in the next video. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I just know that I want to post more consistently, but I'm literally sick of all of the same regurgitated garbage that goes on here. Not garbage, but like, I don't want to give you like the same recommendations video that everyone else gives, and I don't want to do like just the same videos all the time. So I've been like brainstorming, and I have a couple ideas that would be fun, but they will take time to put together, and I'm not the editing queen yet, as you can tell, because I haven't inserted book covers at all because I can't fucking figure it out. But yeah, so whenever I get more brain cells on how to edit, I will be coming at you with some cool shit, at least. And if you have any editing recommendations, please leave them down below. I could use all the help I can get. So I will catch you in the next video. Bye!